Hello, and welcome to Musher's Tales. So we're off, another canoe camping overnighter. So we're going to the same lake, not the same campsite, so same federal park, same lake, different campsite. One campsite we've been paddling by for a couple of years now. My wife always says, "Oh, always looks nice," so we're able to get a spot month of April. So there we go. We'll see if it's as nice as it looks once you're camping there. It's not as far, about 3 kilometers, so it'll be a short paddle. We're bringing more stuff. We're bringing a few different things and bringing more stuff because we're not going far. And right now it's beautiful. Right now it's perfect weather. Not hot, not cold, bit of a breeze. Smells of smoke actually. Forest fires west of us in Ontario. I guess that's blowing over here. So have a bit of smoke smell. It's not bad. This weather's right now it's perfect. Don't know what it's going to be like. They're announcing rain, so we're going to try to get there a little earlier to set up. We're going to set up a tarp for sure because they are announcing rain, but they've been hit and miss with the weather. So hopefully they'll be hit and miss again, and we'll be fine. So we'll see you there. So I've got my fellow paddler here, and we're ready to go. So we're going to have a good time.
We're going to have a good time.
And weather prediction?
We're going to get rain this afternoon, and it might be stormy tomorrow, but that's okay.
And what's the temperature going to be?
Oh, I don't know. That's your department.
So we're trying a few different foods. What are we going to try? What's different?
I made dough for cinnamon buns and baking powder biscuits. So we're going to try them in a special camping oven once we're there. We'll see how it turns out.
So the goal is to canoe there and get fat in the rain. So we'll see how that turns out. Everything's packed. We're ready to go, and we're on the road. Hello. And here we are. Just need another load for the stuff. We're here. Didn't film any of the canoe ride. Going to try to make a longer than a 50-minute video for one thing. And the other thing is, hopefully I film a bit of the portage carrying the canoe down. And then I must have left a camera on my pocket, and these batteries seem to last about 5 minutes. So, fire's going. Here's the spot. No one here. Everything is booked solid on the internet. No one's here. Maybe they're not here yet. Maybe it's the weather. Don't know. First time ever we have stairs. But there's a nice beach. We docked on the beach, but we came back here to put our canoe. There's some nasty weather coming, so we're going to set up and hurry. So we're going to put this on ×2, and we'll film the setting up. So we're set. If it starts raining, we'll just lower the cords in the front there, so we don't have a puddle. It's not, good thing we had a lot of cord. Good thing we had a lot of cord. So always in a hurry to try to get this stuff done before it rains. Well, that's always a rush. Okay, what do we, I didn't show a gear thing, but here's something that's a little bit different. We brought this. Heavy, but it's a little oven. I was watching a video. There's a YouTube channel called 3 Minutes with a Main Guide, which I stumbled onto, and it's pretty interesting. And I'm learning a few things. And in the video, they were talking about ovens, because they do a lot of tourist stuff, so they're always bringing people around. So they talk about these little Coleman stoves. And I said, hold on, wait a minute. We have one of those. So we have one. We got it from my in-laws. My in-laws used to be big campers. So car campers, but campers nonetheless, like crossing Canada and everything. They were quite serious about it. 10 trailer campers, and they had this stove. So I brushed all the rust off it and fixed it up a bit and painted it with paint that's heat resistant. So we're burning off the paint right now. That's why it's on now. So yeah, we're gonna have a little bit of baking going on. Now we're not far. That's where we brought this, because it is, it is useless weight in a sense. But let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. I'm just looking at knobs out of metal. Something else I brought, so we don't freeze our tails off. I bought a couple of these things. So what they are is they're sleeping bag liners. They're not really made for sleeping bag liners, but these don't break too apart. So they're basically something you throw in your car so that you don't freeze to death, basically, if you're in a survival situation. So anyways, bought a couple of these. They weren't very expensive. And if we're cold, just use them as a sleeping bag liner. I saw it somewhere that's what people do. They weigh about 5 ounces, 5.5 ounces each. So
And if they don't work, we brought extra clothing.
yeah, and if they don't work, we have extra clothing. So we're not traveling as light as usual. Things are still a little bit pell-mell here. So we're heating things up and setting up the chairs now. That's what my wife's doing right now, fixing up the chairs. And we'll tune back in later.
Kind of taken all the full thing.
So we've had our swim. This is the way we hang our towel, we hang our towel, we hang our towel. They announced rain and everything, and it looked nasty for a while, but I think we might be lucky. So we had our swim, fire's going. I'll show the stairs. Never saw stairs before here. This is where we stash our canoe. You see the water's low because there's about a 3-foot drop. We're across from a beach, and the beach is packed. There must be like 10, 23, maybe close to 40 people over there. Fairly easily. So yeah, we're at, there's always 4 campsites in a place, A, B, C, D. This one, this place here, they're well spaced. We've seen them where they're not well spaced, but these ones are well spaced. Here you go, you got a good boo at the tent, the tarp. Nice and breezy spot, like not a bug. There's not a mosquito or anything, so it's really cool. Turn the oven around so that the door is facing on the outside so you can work in the oven. It's been on there for let's say an hour maybe, yeah, so any crap from the paint should be gone. Any bits of rust and everything should be all. That's why I painted because it was rusty inside. I gave it a good brushing and everything. But yeah, kind of looking forward to seeing what my wife can cook up in there. I know one thing that's going to be cooked up. This is tomorrow morning, eh? Or tonight?
Well, I might cook them tonight.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
or else they'll rise too much.
Yeah, there you go. So that. Cinnamon buns.
Homemade.
Homemade cinnamon buns.
Not Pillsbury. Not that Pillsbury's not good. They're delicious, but
But
they're
yeah,
homemade.
yeah, that should be anyways. Should be dandy.
And gotta make.
And I'm starving. And one thing, my wife was pretty clever at. Usually, we used to buy these little things, but she bought a big tube and fill them up to the top. So the chip ration will be much better than usual. Thank you very much.
Cheaper, and you get more in them.
You get more in them for sure. So one thing we did do, which I'm regretting right now though, is usually we have a bigger lunch. We kind of cut down on the lunch because I'd eaten a sandwich on the way down and I didn't want to do any Mickey D's or anything. So anyways.
Maybe we'll make baking powder biscuits. I've made 2 recipes, so we can snack on one.
Okay, so there we go. We're going to try the oven out. So what do you have to do?
Well, I made the dough at home. I have to press it out and put it in an aluminum plate and then put it in the oven.
There we go. So yeah. So food's on the way. Food's on the way.
Well,
So
I don't know how long it's going to take in that oven,
well, it could take a while.
but that's why this will be our first.
This is it. We're doing a test. We'll find out. Is this long? Do I do this at times 2?
Well, actually, this is going to be, they say to keep it really nice and cold because there's butter in it.
Do we have anything to put on this? Do we have butter to put on it?
I have butter.
Oh, there you go.
I didn't bring any jam or anything
Well,
because
no.
it was supposed to go with the chili too. Where's my other aluminum plate? Oh, that is the other aluminum.
So tell us what we're doing, hon.
We're going to cook the baking powder biscuits.
Okay.
I have no idea how long it's going to take. We shall find out.
And what's the temperature right now?
It's almost close to 6.
600.
Very hot.
Yeah, that's
So inside we have one of these toasters.
yeah.
Hoping that works.
Hoping that stays balanced.
Yeah.
So how many minutes before you check?
Oh, I'm going to check it every 5 minutes, I
yeah.
think.
There we go.
And hopefully we don't hear a crash.
Yeah, that's what I'd be afraid of.
Well, if so,
Yeah.
it'll give it another layer just so it's not cooking too close to the heat. We shall see. That's why we have 2 recipes.
There you go.
And before we use our cinnamon buns.
Yeah, cinnamon bun.
Before we
Yeah.
waste our cinnamon bun.
Yeah, that's for sure. That's for sure. So we should have enough wood for tonight. As more people arrive, or rather have more than not. So we're set. The wood's free, so hey, worst comes to worst, next person coming has a bunch of wood waiting for them. That's the worst case scenario. With the now that there's people in the other campsites, getting the hardwood was a bit of a detour. Usually both sheds are side by side, and not this time. So I think I made 6 trips of wood so far, but now now you got to go down the. Anyways, now it's a bit of a trek. So I'm glad I got some done before the other camp people arrived. So.
We're at the 5-minute mark. We'll just check it because I have no idea how. Oh boy.
5 minutes. Oh boy. It's got potential. It's got potential.
I don't think they're ready.
Well, they're not bad though.
They're not bad.
This oven, even if it's a little heavy, might be coming back.
Actually, and I'll make sure I turn it around. Get the front to the back and the back to the front. Whoops.
Oh, look at that.
Okay, so I want to do. I don't remember.
I don't think it matters.
Well, heat distribution. Thank you.
Here's my contribution on the tong holder. Do not try this at home. We're trained professionals.
Hey, my mom would get a kick out of that.
Yeah, I suppose she would, eh? So why don't you tell us the story? Wait, hold on. We'll get you a beer. We're gonna get you a beer and then you're gonna talk. Talk to the camera, hold on. So, tell us what you remember about that oven.
Went across Canada several times with Mom and Dad and the family, and I only remember Mom actually using it once. And we were in Banff National Park, and Mom decided, I think it might have been my sister, actually it could have been my sister's birthday, and Mom decided to make a cake. So she had this camp stove, she set it up in our tent trailer, and I don't know how well the cake turned out because of the altitude, so I think it took much longer to cook than Mom was expecting. But anyways, it was really cool that you found it and you've painted it up and you have us using it, so it's a really good memory. So now we're trying it out with the baking powder biscuits.
And it looks good.
I think they're going to turn out okay. And I think we'll go through both batches if this one turns out really good, really well. And then we'll cook up the cinnamon buns.
And we have, anyways, a new method of cooking.
Yeah, well, it's something different.
Yeah.
That'll be cool.
Yeah, we'll try it out.
Yep.
So, let's have a look. Look at that.
They seem to turn out all right.
Yeah. Where are yours? What are you going to eat?
Half of that.
Which half? I think we should burn them a bit just so it looks so good. So then we're really camping. So no plastic knife for us.
So my dear old brother, I brought the silver butter knife. Best knife to use for the butter.
Here we go. So let's see how the first bite.
And the butter's not so hard this time.
It's not as cold.
No, not as cold.
So let's see what happens with the first one.
Actually, I could have brought more butter.
Yeah, I was wondering if you were going to say that.
I'm a little disappointed with my butter. Let's see.
And winner, chicken dinner.
15 minutes.
15 minutes, there you go. Yeah, I think we'll be doing that again.
Yep.
Big success. We've got a loon calling in the distance, and we've got kids laughing. And it sounds very silly, but we're camping in these spots to, part of it is actually seeing people having a good time. And having the kids laugh and the loons making their call. Yeah, it's a good time. Let's say this is noisy for us, so it's a fun noise. And these things,
We're almost finished.
oh yeah, and they're good. They're definitely.
Good thing I made a second batch.
Yeah, they're pretty tasty stuff. Yeah, you just have to have the right kind of fire pit to use it with. But look at that. Hey, what do they do on the internet? They say, hey, you'd like to take a bite? Well, too bad, it's all mine. So, tell us a bit about those camping trips.
No, I'm thinking back. I think the first one, Mom and Dad took us across Canada in a little tent trailer. We used to call it the Little Green Monster. It was a soft-sided tent trailer, so it had a bed on each side and then center floor. And it was Mom, Dad, and my sister and myself. And I think I must have been 7 or 8 at the time. This was our first trip across Canada, and the reason why we were going out there, my eldest sister was married and lived in Edmonton. So we drove across Canada, and I think my brother joined us And I had a cousin join us too, and an aunt, my mom's sister and her husband joined us. They went with their son. Anyways, we all went out west. We picked up my sister and her husband, and then we did, we went Banff and Jasper. We went out to Victoria, Vancouver. Took the ferry over to Victoria. And yeah, so the first trip we did, I was about 7 or 8. My sister would have been 15. We met up with my sister in Edmonton.
Now, sister number 3.
Well,
no,
actually,
sister
sister number 1.
Yeah, you're
She's
1.
the eldest.
That's right. So you're 3 sisters.
I'm 3.
Yeah, or else it sounds like your sister got married kind of young.
And yeah, and then we camped with my sister and my brother-in-law. So in the tent trailer, they'd be for sleeping arrangements. They were on one side. My parents were on the other bed, and my sister and I slept on the floor in the center.
Yeah, so pretty cozy.
Yeah, and that's it.
Did you ever, when you're around the campfire and everything, did you tell all the ghost stories and everything?
No. My brother-in-law, who's a Nova Scotian, and he can spin a story. He can tell a story. He used to tell us ghost stories when we'd all get cozied up in our beds at night. My brother-in-law would roll out the stories.
And the brother-in-law was how old? He's in his 20s, right?
Must have been 25. Yeah.
And you're 7, right?
That's right.
Okay, so they're just...
So he'd tell us a bunch of stories, and this one evening he was telling us a whole bunch of ghost stories and got us all good, well spooked up, and we were in Banff National Park at this point, so you're kind of worried about the wildlife outside. We had seen bears during the day and mountain goats, etc. And anyways, we all go to sleep that night, and in the middle of the night, my sister, who's sleeping next to me, sits up bolt right in bed and screams, "I see a face!" At which we all sat up straight in our bed, terrified. And then within a second or two, she burst out laughing and said, "I see my face." She was looking at a mirror that was hanging in front of her. That was our I see a face, I see a face, I see a face family story. And that has lived on for, I was 7, 40, 52 years. So that's lived on a long time. Good memory. Trip with Mom and Dad and my sister and myself. And I was probably 7 at the time. My sister and her husband had just settled in Ottawa. So we go up to visit them, and we take a day trip in some sort of lac with an L, Lemire or something. I don't know what it was called. Anyway, so we go to the lake. We have a beautiful day. And then as we're walking back to the car, I don't know what the heck made my sister think that there was a bear in the vicinity. So she's, for some reason, either we had seen a bear or someone had said there was a bear in the vicinity. So my sister starts running up to a van that's parked, and she wants to warn the couple that's in there that there's a bear. So she runs up to the van, and she's not saying a word. She's just going like this. And I have a feeling the couple was having a couple's moment when my sister arrived. But no, that's another story we've never forgotten. My sister warning this couple in a van, that's a bear. My sister was more terrifying than the bear.
Supper served. Just starting to rain a bit. Just a light sprinkling you could see coming on there. People are winding down. A lot of kids, a lot of families. It's really nice to see. Good?
Delicious. So here are the cinnamon buns. This is 5 minutes of cooking. They're cooking way faster than the baking powder biscuits. I'm going to put them in for a couple of more minutes because I think the centers are doughy. But no, they're coming along.
The flame's a little higher though.
I'm going to put this in. Couple more minutes. Just enough goo.
It might be burnt. Don't put any on there.
No, I'm not
Might be a little
putting
crisp.
all, just some of it on.
So it looks.
You want icing?
Please, a bit of icing.
You want icing? It's enough for you?
Yeah, all kinds. All kinds.
Of course, that's not enough for me.
Whoa.
There we go. We had to cook these this evening because I don't think they would have kept overnight as well.
So then the others will be for tomorrow morning.
Yeah.
Oh, they're still hot, that's for sure. Whoa.
I can't get over how fast they cooked because they're pretty well cooked.
See you take a bite and burn the roof of your mouth.
No. But they did cook all the way through.
Yeah.
No. It's rather impressive how fast they cooked. Way faster than the baking powder biscuits.
Mm. And?
Delicious.
Good. Very good. Another cooking success. You saw it live on Musher's Tales. So we're off to hang the bear bag. There used to be a toilet there. There we go, we're the first ones. Here, just put it down. And hold this one. Got how he throws.
Well, you should be good for one now. You practiced last time.
This is true. They have big coolers, so maybe I'll tie it to the back again. Okay. Look at that. Whoa, first shot. I impressed myself.
And millions of viewers.
Millions.
Why aren't you using the pole?
Hey?
Why aren't you using the pole?
Because there's so many people here that they have a lot. They have a lot of feelers and they got kids and everything. So this way.
Paddles are not.
So it's about 8 o'clock and the rain started. So we're underneath the fly. Listen to the rain. There's no bugs. Actually, I didn't rig up my paddle thing to hold the things up in the air, so we might try that out. I almost out of battery again. So these batteries don't last worth doodly squat. So first time using that paddle joiner to make a center pole. It's not in the center, but hey, here we go. We have a roof. It's working quite well, actually. Wouldn't leave it there all night, but for now it's pretty good. Giving us a bit of headroom.
That's great.
Yeah, if we play at the angles a bit. Anyways, yeah, so not a bad piece of kit. Here we go. Let the rain fall now. We're all set. Further adjustment with the rain. The wind was, we're facing the lake, so the wind's coming in from the lake, so it was just too much wind and we're getting wet anyway. So back to the old method of just sticking an oar underneath the tarp. Not an oar, a paddle. Sticking a paddle up the top. So nice warm wind. No more kids playing. So parents are going to have a lot of fun with a couple of wet kids, wet bathing suits, getting in the tent right now. One of the people arrived. They arrived not long ago, so I'm sure they haven't eaten or anything yet. Hopefully they have their fire going, but they're going to be dabbling in the rain. But that's part of the fun. Morning. So 5:30 in the morning. Got out of bed. A bit of a not of a rough night there, but a camping night. So it rained like all get out. And we didn't pitch our fly. I was screwed up in the fly. So I'll give you one example. Look at this. Never good to have in a fly. So we had a bit of that. We had a bit of that go on. But we had one of them right over the corner of the tent. So the tent wasn't covered by the fly, which isn't a problem because, which isn't supposed to be a problem, because the tent has its own incorporated fly, but it's not a big tent. So we pushed some baggage, excuse me, against the side, and then the side bulged out. So where the side bulged out, you obviously water was running off the fly onto the tent. It was worse than if we didn't have a fly. So we actually have a little puddle in one corner of the tent. So our mattresses kept us off the bathtub floor. So bathtub, which was acting like a bathtub because it's holding the water. And we tried out those baby sacks. We both woke up at midnight saying, hey, wasn't warm, wasn't cold, but we tried the baby sacks, and they're pretty good. They're pretty good. I mean, as soon as you put it on, you felt a reflective warmth. So that was a big success. It kind of came through in a pinch. But there's no way those baby sacks are going to fit back in the stuff sacks they come with. I mean, it's like they were... The baby sack is like it's sheets of paper. When you took it apart there, it was so compressed like sheets of paper. So I don't see how that's going to get back in the sack. But anyways, they kept their warmth. And they kept us warm, which is good. And the other thing is, we had no flies here. Holy shit, there's mosquitoes now. There's a lot of mosquitoes. And you could just hear them outside the tent. I was there, do you hear that? And it was just like the mosquito invasion. So I'm standing where there's a bit of a breeze here by the lake. And yeah, there's definitely mosquitoes here. One of the guys, one of the people that arrived camping yesterday, you know, he said, you know, any flies? I said, hey, there's no flies. You know, and it wasn't a fly to be seen or to be felt. And he said, how about the morning? I said, I don't know. But he'd been here before. And I think in the morning, this is a bit of a rough spot for flies because the bullfrogs were singing. And so that means there's a swamp nearby. Great loon concert last night too, which was really cool. Anyways, I'm down to about 10% battery. So don't know what's going to happen. The other battery, I have a third battery, I'm sure somewhere I'll find that. But the more important thing now is I gotta have to go get some dry wood and start a fire and make a bit of smoke and clear the flies out, and that's it. Get the morning going. Welcome to Canada. Ours is the little one in the middle. How do you make the grandkids laugh?
Eat cheese in the morning.
We're slowly picking up. It's good to have everything picked up in case it starts raining again. So at least now everything is not quite shipshape, but we're getting there. And then the pressure's off, because when you do it when it's pouring rain, it's not much fun. I'd say there'll be a lot of drying out of stuff at the house, a lot of shaking of sand, but part of the game. The lake's really beautiful. I'll show it to you. the loons have stopped their chorus, and the kids are starting to begin theirs. So those kids, they went to bed late last night. They're not very old kids. They're saying they're like, oh, we'll say 5 and 8. The kids that are in the campground beside here. And at 9:30 they sounded like they were going strong. And at 6:30 they were going strong too. So mom and dad will be a little tuckered, but so will the kids at the end of the day. Mosquitoes are pretty fierce. As little as there was yesterday, now there's all kinds of them. So there's always a humming going on. Back. So here's 8 o'clock in the morning. We just have to pack the canoe. We banked the fire. Left the campsite pretty nice. Left wood for the next people, including someone at the table. And we're off. Away we go. Whoa, stop. Okay.
I think we're gonna have to throw it further.
Nice wind, eh?
Beautiful day.
It's in our face though, but hey. You good? Hold on a second, I'm not ready. I'm doing the splits. Trying to get the water on my feet. I think I'm actually grounded. No. Yeah. Just keep on paddling, yeah. They are, I just saw the tail. So we got a couple of otters in front of us. Oh, they saw us. 3 of them, so family. Oh, there they go. So 3 otters in front of us. They're looking at us now. I see 3. Yeah. Oh, they just did the seal on us. They're looking at us. Okay, stop a second. I'm gonna try something. No, in the woods I've seen them. they just stop and they start bobbing up and down, looking at you and blowing. Here they see a lot of people though, so they know where they're going. They came out of that swamp there. They move, eh? Oh yeah. So we're pretty well landed, and there's a bunch of people there, so we'll finish this up right now. So hope you enjoyed the trip, and thanks for watching. Till the next time.